Hey listener, today we are discussing Quan Millz' classic book, This Hoe Got Roaches in Her Crib. Enjoy!
I have not experienced my baby daddy being a leprechaun, okay? Or my baby daddy is an ogre. Or my baby mama is an alien. Like, what the fuck? I have never fallen in a velociraptor baddie. Welcome to Throuple, the podcast that... I'm Monica.
This is Bo Binary and...
I'm not gay no more. I am delivered.
Take a shot every time Bo Binary denies being gay. This is Liz, and I took my socks off.
Ooh.
Oh, let's see them feet.
Okay, so today on podcast, Jesus
Today
Christ.
on podcast.
Today on podcast. We are breaking the
You
crime.
better leave that in. Today on podcast.
Today on podcast, we are at space.
We are at space. That was from last episode. Okay, already we're in trouble. Last episode we talked about Blue Origin.
Wait, what was the ad space thing?
Gail King said she was at space. She learned a lot at space.
She was educated at space.
She said,
Yeah, Space School of Hard Knocks. Yeah, it's like when boomers are on Facebook and they're educated at School of Hard Knocks.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
employed at I am retired in all caps.
I wish. When I'm retired, I will put that shit in all caps.
Yeah.
It don't fucking bother
It's
me.
never going to happen.
I am retired.
Okay. So, why have we gathered here today? Dearly beloved, we are here to read chapter 1 of This Hoe Got Roaches in Her Crib by Quan Millz. A huge shout out to Charlie, who graciously gifted us this book. She's extremely funny, and hopefully we can do her justice with this table read.
Yes. Thank you, Charlie.
Thank you.
Charlie is listener?
Yeah, Charlie is listener. We might have one other listener. Maybe, well, not our parents.
No.
I don't know.
Definitely
Someone's
not
out
my
there.
parents. They
Definitely
don't
not
know
my
about
parents.
this.
Yeah.
Please, Charlie, don't stop listening to us.
Don't
You're our
stop.
only hope. So I'm going to pass this book around so that you guys can look at the cover. Monica, can you describe the cover of This Hoe Got Roaches in Her Crib?
Okay, so this is probably AI generated book cover of a black man with braces.
Braces are taking me out. Why are those included?
He is looking like he is feeling some feels. Like he is like, oh my God. Because he has both of his hands on his head. Like he slapped his head. He's like, ugh, like he's in pain. And there's a girl behind him. And she's just looking like, whatever. And there's a table with AI food and a cup and roaches. And this table, my favorite part is like on top of a milk crate. There's some stain on a rug. There's some roaches on the curtain behind the lady. And yeah, it makes a lot of sense.
There's a TV on top of pizza boxes.
Yeah, those are the two pizza boxes that were ordered while Katy Perry was in space.
From part 1.
Yeah, and this
What's on the curtains?
it's Spider-Man curtains, and there's like I see one roach on it. The curtain is hiding up some it looks like a wooden board on the window. It's pretty ghetto if you ask me, but that kind of goes into what the story is about, which is, as the title says, this hoe got roaches in her crib. As Rudy mentioned, the stylization of the hoe is like, it looks really fancy, or maybe Liz said it. It does look like a romance.
It's chromed,
comedy.
It's nice.
Romance comedy.
Romance comedy.
A romancity.
It looks like a romancity. Looks like a romance novel.
Oh, a rom-com. That's right. I was like, I swear there's a word.
Romancity.
But it does not look like a rom-com I would want to be in.
More like a roach-com.
This is
God.
presented by 5-starlet Quan Millz.
All right, so who is Quan Millz? His given name is Colby Durden.
What?
Colby Durden.
That has nothing to do with his... Okay.
Dude, you can't tell me that's not a country star.
Tell me his name again.
Colby Durden.
So that guy sings. That guy sings like she's from a small town.
She got roaches in her crib, but I can deal with it. She keeps me smiling and wilding as I go down these country roads. I don't know.
That was good.
That was really good. Better than AI.
So he was born and raised in Miami in a middle-class family, but now lives with his wife in the suburbs of Chicago. He's written 70-plus books.
Bro,
That's always the mark of a brilliant artist.
he just started last year, by the way.
I know 70 books
Would you say it's always the mark of a
of a. What did I say? It was so long ago.
talent? We've been in space for only 10 minutes.
No, that.
So he says that he's now generated over $500,000 in book royalties across various reader platforms. And
That's not great for 70 books.
Right? How many?
That's not great.
How many is that per?
Like
so
10 cents per book.
someone do this math here. Okay, so let's say over. We'll generously say 700,000. So that's like 10,000 for each book.
I really want to read the back of this book. Like, I want to read, what is it, synopsis? What is the back of the book called, usually? I want to read these words, okay?
I want to hit the back of the book.
I want to hit the front. Plot is,
Liz, finish the. Okay,
I'm just going to do a quick intro, and then we're going to get into the meat of it. He's been writing books since 2017 when he was let go from his corporate job. I was like, hey, you know what? Screw corporate America. I'm not going back. I'm going all in with urban fiction. Borrowing from the imagination of another urban fiction writer, Shamik Spite, whose Child of a Crackhead series has
I was inspired by Child of a Crackhead series.
like Mark Twain's Child of a Crackhead had been well received on Amazon. Millz fully leaned into stereotypical hood motifs of sex, drugs, unambitious women, and their ultimate downfalls. I'm going to take that formula and I'm going to run with it, but I'm going to add my own spin to it, Millz said. His book titles include The Old Thought Next Door,
The Old Thought?
Ho is Life,
Yeah.
My Bad White Bitch,
Hello, that's Liz. He wrote that about you.
Yeah, he wrote that about you.
MBWB, My Bad White
My
Bitch.
milk of magnesium.
Magnesium.
Tax Season Thoughts. That's
Tax
right.
season thoughts.
My boyfriend...
Hey, that's what time of the year it is.
It is. Maybe we need to read Tax Season Thoughts next.
Yeah.
Do your taxes, guys.
I think said taxis and thoughts.
Ooh, that works too.
Thoughts in taxis.
I was like, okay, he's bringing the thoughts home via taxi.
Thoughts, thinking
That's
things.
tax season. Oh, he going to a naughty like tax person. What do they call tax?
No
H&R.
taxation without
H&R.
without ejaculation.
H&R cock.
H&R cock. No taxation without ejaculation.
Yeah, there you go. In space.
So my boyfriend beats me, but I still love him.
Oh, that's pretty
Oh.
sweet. That's a romance.
That's pretty sweet.
Pregnant by my mother's gay husband.
What?
Nice.
Pregnant by an ogre thug from 63rd Street.
Why 63rd Street?
It's not in New York, it's Chicago.
Why is he an ogre thug?
Pregnant by a hood alien.
Okay. Oh, I want to read that.
And my baby daddy is a bedbug.
What? This guy actually, yes, that is. This is amazing.
Listen, I'm laughing and I'm impressed. And I want to say, like, I acknowledge that we're going to be making fun of this, and it's not because, well, it is because of how ghetto it is, but, like, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just fucking crazy. So
Dude,
apologies.
that's
Don't get upset with us.
Dude, if he was Japanese, he'd be Murakami, like, or not Murakami.
Yeah, he does
Yeah,
the jizz.
Murakami.
Yeah.
No. I'm talking about the author, Wind Up Bird Chronicles.
Murakami.
Oh.
That's Haruki.
Oh.
The other
Yeah, the other
Murakami.
Murakami.
All the Murakamis are great.
It's like just
Takashi,
if
Gigi.
thank you. Yes, it's like the same shit. My daddy's a bedbug, or my baby's daddy's
My
a bed.
baby daddy's a bedbug.
That's amazing.
Is it a continuation of Metamorphosis?
Yeah,
That
Is
would
this-
be fucking sick.
Right? This is like The Fly. Like is her baby daddy turning into a bedbug, or was it a bedbug disguised as a human, or how did it happen?
Oh God, I don't know. But like, if my baby daddy was a bed bug and I knew about it, I wouldn't know about it before the fact. Okay, because like if I knew about it, he wouldn't be my baby daddy.
dude, imagine your whole building wants to kick your baby daddy out because he's a bedbug, but you're like, I love him. He's my baby daddy.
Ming,
Everybody-
stop playing with my baby daddy.
Stop playing with my baby daddy.
Don't play.
Don't play me.
So let's read chapter 1 today of this book that has a stunning 4.6 star rating on Amazon.
4.6. That's really good. Yeah.
So Monica, I think we've got to take some turns, but I want you to start and read the back of this book for us, please.
Okay, so there was just one. Well, should I read the whole thing? It's really long.
Well, we'll just start with a paragraph.
Okay, I want to read the last paragraph.
Oh yeah, read the last paragraph.
Okay, this book is another episodic chronicle born out of the dark, gritty social drama storytelling talent of urban fiction mastermind Quan Millz, in all caps.
Did you just say Quan Millz?
Otherwise
Happy
known as
Kwanzaa.
Dustin Lynch. What's his name?
Oh yeah,
Donnelly.
Colby Durden.
Colby Durden.
Okay, yeah, urban fiction mastermind Quan Millz.
Colby Durden.
Colby Grills.
This hoe got roaches in her crib will deliver a gut-punching blow to those who don't understand the many trials and tribulations single fathers go through to rescue their children from
Oh, bro. It's gonna be impossible.
I'm sorry.
This fucking guy.
Wait.
Dude, what if we sent...
How are you gonna read this?
What if we sent Colby Grills to space, dude?
We have Colby Grills in space at home. Ya tenemos Colby Grills in space a la casa.
Oh no. This is turning into a Cinco de Mayo episode.
Okay. Wait, I'll start from this hoe got roaches in her crib will deliver a gut-punching blow to those who don't understand the many trials and tribulations. Single father. Where do you finish?
You made it all the way. There's like 2 more words. Okay. Who don't understand the many trials and tribulations single fathers go through to rescue their children from manipulative, ratchet women who use the family court system to their advantage. Damn.
I'm sorry.
This fucking guy is a scum bucket.
Okay.
All right, so shall we start with chapter
Made it all
1?
the way, both times.
Are you ready to do chapter 1, or do you need one of us to start?
No,
Somebody else has to start.
You can do it.
Okay. Rudy, start with chapter 1.
My absolute favorite is when Monica sends us videos where she's just giggling over the whole thing. So here.
Have any Quan Millz books been adapted into like screenplays?
We should
Oh
do
my
one.
God.
There has to be one.
We have to make...
BET's already done 69 of the 70 books.
Tyler Perry.
Tyler Perry.
Send this to Tyler Perry.
Dude, you know he's on that. You know he's on that.
He's in space. He's like orbiting, like watching the whole Earth to get ideas.
Yeah. You know Tyler Perry's got his little grubby hands on this.
Okay. Chapter 1. All these fucking roaches and shit. Ah! God motherfucking damn it! Frequisha's murderous gaze was laser focused onto 5 black brownish roaches, all ranging in sizes. Ugh. And a bitch ain't got time for this shit today. I'm hungry and a bitch need to get her pussy ate. The agitated Section 8 strag continued to nag.
Strag?
Yeah.
Ooh, I've never heard that.
I've never heard...
I better not
I've
say
never heard
that.
strat. Oh, yeah. The scammers are going to get us saying the S word. It is an archaic verb primarily used in Middle English, meaning to go or spread in a rambling or irregular way, or to linger behind.
Maybe because she's spreading her legs.
Yeah.
Oh.
Somebody got a...
Did you look at
thesaurus.
Urban Dictionary or
Okay,
Merriam's?
Urban, I'm looking at...
Because there's a difference. I feel like we'd be using... We should have a Quan Millz dictionary.
This hoe's got a thesaurus in her crib.
Right, we need... Okay, it says strag, a hoe, a runner, a bust down, a rat, a skeezer, a slut, a blockhead, someone that gets around, someone will let you hit without a blink of the eye.
Okay.
So
Okay, without
basically
one.
Liz.
Yeah, I'm a rat, a skeezer, a slut, a blockhead, someone that'll let you hit without a blink of the eye. Dude.
All right,
Okay,
so,
continue.
All right, so the biggest roach, Daddy Roach Sr., embarked on a dangerous journey to lead his family to a mecca of stale food. His wings lightly flapped. He used his long, wise antennas to lead his loyal wife of 32 days, their 2 well-trained teenage sons, and their precious baby daughter towards the distant smell of decaying Domino's pepperoni and sausage pizza crust hiding away in a dark corner of Fred Quisha's messy apartment living room.
Wait, is this story from the point of view of the Roaches?
I think it's going to have everybody's point of view.
Whoa.
Fred Quisha's point of view right now is like she has made Daddy Roach and the family Roach, she made it a thing. She's just like, these roaches are here. They live with me. They're like family. They're not family. They are their own family, actually.
Squatters' rights.
Squatters' rights. Roaches' rights.
Can I ask if either of you have ever been like, oh, all these bugs in my building. I need to get my pussy ate. Have you guys ever like, or does that ever like, this is actually an honest question. Are you guys ever like in the middle of your day and be like, damn, I need to get my pussy ate?
In my adult life, no.
Every time the Orchid Man comes, yeah, I immediately have to get my pussy ate.
Okay. This guy doesn't know actual women, right?
Yeah.
That's not like women know.
He only knows thoughts.
I would never just be like walking around like, damn, I need to get my pussy ate.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. It's weird.
you know what I mean? That's not like normal like horniness or like, that's just
Yeah,
weird.
that's like trauma. She has trauma.
Oh,
For
100%.
Quisha, yeah, for Quisha.
Roach trauma.
It's PTSD established.
Thank you.
All right. Every third Friday of the month, when the food stamps hit her EBT card, Fred Quisha usually treated her 3 kids to greasy pizza, saucy buffalo wings, and Cinesticks. Is this an advert?
Yeah.
Sponsored by Domino's.
Domino's.
They sent her 2 pizzas. Okay. The Pizza Fiesta was sort of like a food stamp renewal day of celebration. Truth be told, the pizza was also a way to get the motherfucking kids temporarily off her flabby, tatted back. Wow.
Who hurt?
He hates
Who hurt?
ghetto women. Why are he writing so many
Colby.
books about them?
Damn.
Okay. Fred Quisha hated to have to spend her weekends watching her badass kids, especially when she needed to get ate out and dicked down by some local Chiraq savage. Only God knows why she was so annoyed watching them. Ain't like the bitch had a job where her weekends were invaluable, deserving precious relief from a hard week of work. Every day was a fucking weekend for this hoe. Anyways.
We need a. I don't like women. Women.
Yeah, I hate women. Women.
After that, all that like savagery, the Chiraq savage, it put anyways in all caps. Anyways.
Yeah, enough of that negativity.
That flabby, tatted back bitch aside. He didn't say that. I'm saying that. But anyway.
I mean, but he did say that.
He pretty much did. This particular crust daddy Roach Sr. scented had been nestled away for weeks. Shit, possibly months, out of the purview of other vermin living in the grimy apartment. Had Frequisha's mama taught her the importance of admiring cleanliness as a virtue, the months-old crust would have been a non-issue. Perhaps then Frequisha would have not been staring down the critter family peacefully pilgrimaging along the hallway's dusty white cracking baseboard. He has a way with words. I feel like he do have a thesaurus in his crib.
Yeah.
Those are certainly words.
He do.
He do?
He do be having a thesaurus.
Mm-hmm.
I swear to God, these motherfucking kids keeping my house nasty as shit. They get on my last damn nerves, and I got shit to do today. They really gonna make me go off on they motherfucking asses. Frequisha griped under her dry, morning blunt-infused breath.
Oh.
Frequisha, better known as Moo Moo in the streets, positioned herself in a close proximity to the migrant roach family. A bitch was ready to go to war against the critter enemies invading her living room.
Is this like a secret like anti-immigration propaganda piece where like the roaches represent immigrants or something?
Maybe.
These are the migrant family.
Alex Jones wrote
The invading migrants.
Alex Jones was the ghostwriter.
The cockroaches are invading us at the border.
Oh my God. Okay. Her eyes turned to homicidal slits. A butterfly of anxiety flapped its wing in her growling, empty stomach. Frequisha knew roaches were hard to motherfucking kill. Why the curse? Okay. If she was going to be victorious in offing these sneaky fuck N-word roaches and his family, she needed to smite hard so she could crush their organs, killing them on instant impact. Hope that's not my baby daddy she killing.
No. I'm not a bedbug.
Well, I don't have to worry. My baby daddy is a water bug.
Oh, yeah.
My centipede.
Frequisha raised her right foot, leaned down, and then pulled off her Walmart black flip-flop. Now armed and dangerous with a $2.99 plastic flip-flop in her hand, she slowly and carefully hovered her weapon of choice over Daddy Roach Sr. His long antennas wavered side to side, unaware of Fredquisha's looming death plot. Raised in Chicago's notorious Cabrini Green housing project high-rises till the age of 20, Fredquisha had no trace of fear for roaches in her body. No fear of white mice, no fear of daddy long-leg spiders, not even a trace of fear for Norwegian brown rats. Once a major problem in Chicago's slums. He knows his vermin.
Yeah, from growing up in Miami.
Quan Millz is the vermin master.
That's becoming like social commentary. Seriously, to have grown up in an environment where none of those things scare you, that's like...
Yeah.
Thinking about them.
That's wild.
Ducking and dodging at the sound of rapid gunfire was the most valuable tool any young N-word growing up in Chicago's fucked up and ultra-violent housing projects had to learn quickly. And then the next valuable housing project survival skill young N-words had to acquire was the art of killing roaches. Damn, what a life. Wow. Fear of stray bullets aside, any child, regardless of socioeconomic status, starts off with an innate fear of insects, bugs, and other creepy, monstrous creatures. Nonetheless, young Project N-words are taught to cultivate Japanese samurai warrior-like fearlessness when it comes to living with roaches. Why? There's a 99.9999% chance these kids are going to be roommates with bugs until the day they leave their piss-smelling public housing residencies.
I mean, we've smelled some elevators.
Listen.
Some elevators with some piss in it. Some elevators with some pepper spray in it. From curious people.
We'll never let Monica forget pepper spraying herself accidentally in an elevator.
Listen, I feel like everyone has to go through that rite of passage.
Did we talk about this on the pod?
No.
Oh yeah. So
can we?
Yeah.
Are we allowed to?
Yeah. Well,
Rudy, no. I want to hear what you remember.
I remember we got you pepper spray, right? In New Mexico. We brought it back to New York and gave it to Monica to protect against the baddies, the
roaches,
and
the migrant roaches.
Bugs. And it's nice to have, but you're probably not going to get a chance to use it actually. And Monica got curious, was in her apartment building elevator, and thought that you would try it out in the corner.
I wanted to make sure I was ready and I knew how to use it for when the time came. Plus, it was like 2 a.m. There was nobody else, hopefully, who was going to be taking the elevator anytime soon. And I had a little bit to drink. So I was like, yeah, I'm going to do a little spritz.
Your pepper spray.
I'm going to see how this thing shoots out.
And?
It was spicy in there. It was a little spicy.
Did you do it like towards the end of your elevator ride or like right at the beginning?
Yeah, I only lived on the 4th floor at the time. So, I think I sprayed it at like floor 2.
Okay, so describe how it felt.
The stream was nice when it came out. I don't know if that's what you're referring to.
Like the stream, like it was strong, or you like
stream of it was like a nice little spritz.
Okay.
And then it got a little spicy in there. It felt like there was a lot of black pepper. My eyes didn't hurt, but I was like,
so you were coughing.
It was just a little like itchy.
But
it wasn't much.
If it had gotten in your eyes, do you think it would have been?
Oh my God, I would not have been able to I'm like, how can I get out of this elevator into my apartment? I don't know if I could have done it. I would have been in the trash room by accident.
Just in the trash bin.
Pick the smallest area to try it out in.
It made the elevator smell better.
Probably, yeah.
I believe
that. Was
that.
a very pee-pee.
God, that elevator was
elevator?
just filled with pee.
Yeah, that was my Japanese samurai warrior-like fearlessness, okay?
Honestly, yes.
I didn't know this was a Japanese book.
Yeah, we were talking about Murakami.
Japan girl, so. Mm-hmm. All right, so back to it. Therefore, from a tender age, young Cabrini kids got initiated into a gang of hardened roach murderers, learning how to gangbang on those motherfuckers when they encroached their set. Wow. Living room, bedroom, kitchen, etc. So with all that being said, you already know a ghetto bitch like Fredquisha was a certified roach hitter. Concentrate, bitch, you got it. Fredquisha thought to herself, kill these fuck N-words.
Damn.
Smack. Daddy Roach Sr. went on to be with the Lord. The front of the obituary read, homegoing celebration for the late Daddy Roach Sr. Sunrise, May 2018. Sunset, June 2018. Reverend Dr. Lucius Roachson III presiding. Mama Roach, shocked and grieving, tried to flee for cover. Her 3 kids trailed her, but this lethal Fred Quisha hoe obviously wasn't going to let them get away. They had to motherfucking die, too, and be buried next to their daddy.
I want to go to that Roach funeral. They're like, that sounded like a crazy flyer. They're like, call for VIP and bottle service.
Didn't you already host a Roach funeral?
I did. Yeah, exactly. The cockroach white party.
You actually did.
I meant the actual one that you did.
Actually.
Yeah, I brought back some. I need to give you a set. Not the cockroaches. I brought back.
Well, explain.
I started making miniature scenes that I would put dead cockroaches from the bathrooms of the state university that I went to. And so I made different scenes. One of them was like the Boston Marathon bombing, and there were cockroach bodies everywhere and like a tiny ambulance, cockroaches in body bags. And then I started doing the actual funerals. So I made little tiny coffins and the prayer books, the candles, the floral displays, etc.
Liz even rented out a whole room, a giant room, built pews, an altar, an entire funeral with vending machines where you could buy little parts of the funeral for the Roaches. It was amazing.
Each of them came in a bubble.
Yeah, a little bubble machine. I just want to say that Liz took this to as far as it could be taken by having an entire church that she built.
Thank you for the additional context, Rudy, because Liz just made it seem like I saw roaches and I played with them. And Rudy's like, no, you did more than that. Like, you did other,
You made an entire human funeral for... It was amazing.
It was my thesis. It was my thesis.
Like, I just played with them for fun.
Yeah. No, it was. Yeah, it was.
You're in my crib. What can I do?
How did you, for your thesis? How did you How did you explain the idea behind it?
The thesis covered basically the development of funerary practices, and also covered a history of vending and its connection to religious organizations. And so it was a lot of history of that and the visual history. Yeah, there was a lot of Victorian culture. I talked about the miniature and its history, from prehistory to modern times. Just sort of tied it all together.
I'm very proud of you.
Thank you. Yeah, that sounded really interesting.
No, it is. Okay.
Okay, so if someone's like, hey, I made a whole art thing about roaches in a funeral and had all this blah, blah, blah meaning, you're like, oh, that's not very interesting. Would you say that to somebody else? Or are you just saying that to yourself?
Yeah, it is
You'd
rude.
be like, oh, that's fucking weird, at least. Can you give yourself that was weird, at least? Or that was cool?
Yeah, that was really cool. I worked really hard on that.
You're her bragging.
Oh, it turned on her.
How quickly she turned.
Set her up. Bring her up.
You did work very hard on it.
I was set up.
No, we weren't set up.
I was set up. Actually, I had this evil advisor who pretended to be my friend, but then my other advisor for my thesis told me that she was trying to not give me honors and was trying to knock me down. Yeah, that shit.
Let's
So I did get sabotaged.
let's go crush her like she's Daddy Roach
Roach.
Senior.
Oh,
Send her to the Lord.
Reverend Monica.
you're going to Reverend Monica
Presiding.
tonight.
Yeah.
Reverend Monica presiding. Yes.
All right, back to it. Where the fuck y'all think y'all going, huh? Frequisha shrieked with retribution, colored in her vicious words. Smack, 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 smack. Gruesome, genocidal sight, an entire family wiped out. But this was just the beginning of a growing problem. Daddy Roach Sr. had 1,861 brothers, sisters, nieces, nephews, uncles, aunts, and other relatives lurking in the cut, ready to get that pizza crust. And
Lurking in the cut.
Ready to get that. Wait, what? Yeah, in the cut. Ready to get that pizza crust and other discarded trash scattered throughout the cluttered and disgusting apartment. He didn't really have to say it was cluttered and disgusting because, we feel that already.
He's like, I got to get that word count.
Just in case you didn't know, this was a nasty place. You think Daddy Roach had 1,861.
He was in the cut.
They wanted that pizza crust from Domino's that was like stale as fuck.
I do like their crust.
They do. They're nice and thick and heavy, which is why they needed to have all the 1,000 Roach family members so they could all work together to carry the pizza crust.
That's
to
why
the
you don't
pizza
have
crib.
Roaches here, because Rudy eats his crust like a good person.
Exactly, dude.
The cockroaches are taking the pizza slices, and the Democrats are extracting the adrenochrome from the pizza slices.
That was the first 3 pages. That was the first section that we went through.
Wow. Rudy, do you want to read a little bit?
Yeah. Should we jump ahead in the book? What should we do?
Oh, I mean,
actually, they're talking about Dominican Republic in the second section.
oh my God, yes.
Are there any Dominican roaches in here with chancletas?
You can't kill those.
The chancleta cost maybe about $250.
If you try and stomp a Dominican roach, it'll hurt your foot.
300 pesos.
Okay. So, an unclouded Saturday morning, the first weekend in June, Chicago's South Side, the neighborhood, the infamous Inglewood, a 10-unit apartment building owned by Mr. Nathaniel Nate Garrison, a retired 67-year-old postal worker, stood on the corner of 63rd Street and Halsted Avenue. 12 years ago, after giving the United States Postal Service 30 hard, sweaty years of career service, the Chi-Town Bronzeville native decided to dab into real estate, per the advice of his younger brother, Louis. The younger brother had owned some low-income rental properties throughout the predominantly black south and west sides of the city, and Big Bro Nate wanted to get a slice of the apparently rich and decadent rental property income pie. Nate was hesitant. Nate was hesitant at first given. He was the more fiscally conservative sibling and didn't want to fuck up his retirement coins. Nate, divorced now for nearly 10 years, father of 4 kids, and grandfather to 9, eventually caved in and gave rental property investing a shot. Flash forward a decade and 2 years later, it turned out that buying an apartment building in the heart of the gradually depopulated Inglewood ghetto and filling it with Section 8 voucher recipients was a guaranteed government-subsidized gold mine.
Money, money, money.
Good-ass passive income that diversified his diverse retirement funds. Okay. Nate's $65,657 yearly pension, untapped 401k, $1,300 monthly Social Security check, and rental property income afforded him the opportunity to take his quarterly trips to the Dominican Republic. I don't know.
El General.
I think they say Diablo, que Diablo, don't they?
Yeah. Liz is just like, El General. Where is he from? Anyway.
That's right. He's not even Dominican, right?
We loved him over there.
Yeah, but he's iconic.
He's iconic. He's Dominican at heart. There, he'd sipped on margaritas and dined on young chocolate.
I love young.
I got ahead of
Dined on chancletas.
He'd sipped on margaritas and dined on young chocolate prostitute pussy he'd often procure from Punta Cana's white sand beaches.
Those are where the resorts are.
Monica, do you have any comment on this as a Dominican?
Good for those chocolate ladies, because in DR, like, you know, the whiter the better. At least when I was there. So I'm happy these chocolate pussies are getting ate, rather than just the white pussies.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, like,
Good
yeah,
for
that they're
them.
getting love. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Show that chocolate pussy some love. That's my new song. Dropping soon.
The album's dropping soon.
After I get my pussy ate.
Yeah. After I kill these bugs.
His penchant for foreign coochie explained his lack of addressing the growing issues plaguing the apartment building that housed roughly 23 tenants. Nate was very hands-off when it came to his property management, oftentimes paying Glenn, his functional crackhead ex-brother-in-law, to do spotty, erratic building maintenance. The decade of ownership devolved Nate into a prototypical Chicago slumlord. This is the exact reason why, on this beautiful and sunny Saturday morning, Miss Fredquisha Pierce, a tenant who had been in the building now for some 3 years, was manifestly heated, and not by the sun, but by the sight of the Roach family she just massacred with no remorse. This was a problem from time to time she tried to get Mr. Garrison to fix. She'd contact him every so often through email or phone call. Some days later, toothless crackhead Glenn would arrive, chit-chat, spray the house, lay out some traps, and then take off, not to be seen or heard from for months.
That sounds like what we used to do at Common when they're like, there are rats and mice and roaches, and we're like, okay, we're gonna send someone to lay out some traps.
Some little decoy
All right.
traps.
All right, enjoy.
Talk to you never.
Bye.
Nonetheless, at the end of the day, the former Cabrini Green resident just grew immune to the infestation. Roaches were ... just roaches. A minor nuisance, really. Not a problem she felt compelled to bitch and complain to the City of Chicago's Housing Authority, better known as CHA, in a letter to her phone call.
Or maybe even a fax.
Crazy thing was, CHA had a dedicated hotline she could have easily dialed to address the pest issue. Even crazier, Fredquisha was a Section 8 voucher holder, and these types of issues would get any landlord into trouble big motherfucking time.
Oh.
So much so, Nate's despondent slumlord ass could end up getting banned from the Section 8 program and could face serious fines.
I like how he's like, this problem was absolutely like insurmountable. But what she really should have done, in Chicago, there's actually a specialized line that is just for is this like a after school special where it's like
so jarring. Like he's just going and like just talking all this shit about Fredquisha, and he's like, let me educate you a little bit about XYZ. And I'm like, I feel like this book would be so like this could be a short story if it's just about this hoe having roaches in her crib rather than the systems behind the roaches in her crib.
right, and it like the city of Chicago could just use this as like a little comic book to like educate people about. They're like, don't have a landlord like so and so. Call the landlord abuse line at blah blah blah, or you can go online to anonymously submit complaints about an exploitative landlord. And then have like, well, to find out more about, what she really should have done was found out more about her rights as a Section 8 tenant.
That's in chapter 2, actually. They cover that in chapter 2.
It's like in Moby Dick where they have the chapter that's just all about all the highly technical details of whaling.
Yeah.
It's just
I
gonna
don't
be.
care, bitch. Just tell me the fucking story. The fuck? This hoe got ADHD. I can't.
This hoe got
ADHD in her brain.
This book is 372 pages.
It's a manual for how to submit a complaint to CHA in Chi-Town.
No, I'll never live it down.
However, the unemployed and welfare system abusing Fredquisha didn't want to rock the boat and snitch on Mr. Garrison. Why? She was constantly late paying her percentage of the rent that Section 8 didn't cover to Mr. Garrison. Nevertheless, unlike other landlords, he didn't give a fuck so long as he was getting that steady check from the government. He wrote government, okay? I didn't say it. Rather than clean up the crushed roach corpses slimed onto the bottom of the wall and baseboard, the uneasy and rushed single mother of 3 furiously made her way back into the kitchen in search of her half-smoked, peach-flavored Philly blunt. Fredquisha picked the blunt up off one of her dirty kitchen countertops and wedged it in between her crusty, plump purple lips.
Why they gotta be crusty?
Which ones?
Which ones? Liz!
Well, she's got to get her pussy ate.
You gotta stop listening to Doechii, Liz.
Yeah, stop. Yeah, Liz is...
Purple lip. Dude.
She whisked out a lighter from her left pocket and lit the blunt up. She took 3 long puffs, exhaled, waited a few moments to let the weed calm her jittery nerves. The THC high overtook her portly body.
Like she's like an old British gentleman.
The woman on the cover is gorgeous. Fredquisha is not portly. If you're going by the cover,
Yeah,
He's just jealous of
He
her.
needs to stop using AI.
yeah.
Y'all gonna die when you see his last post on Instagram.
Oh, I have that. Don't worry. I got that locked and loaded. Dude, I can just tell you guys now.
Okay.
So it is.
I followed him.
It's a poll, and he's trying to figure out what to name his next book. Option 1: I fell in love with a hood-rich BBW Velociraptor, or fell in love with a hood-rich Thickasaurus. That's fell in love with a hood-rich BBW Velociraptor, or fell in love with a hood-rich Thickasaurus.
It's number 1 for me.
I mean, yeah.
Velociraptor.
Listen, I sent you a different photo, but it's pregnant by a dope boy named Wendella Pooh Bear. Wendella Pooh Bear, and his says, would you all read this? Is his question. And the first comment is, Quan, put ChatGPT down. Yes.
Dude, what does that mean? Put
Because
ChatGPT
he's
down.
using it for everything.
He's using AI. Like his writing is very inconsistent. And I'm not saying he's using ChatGPT for all of this, but like he's going from saying things like precarious and then he's like government. Like like please let me know, like, are we reading in Ebonics, or like did you get your thesaurus? Dust the thesaurus off.
Ho does not have thesaurus in his crib.
Sometimes he does and sometimes he doesn't.
Yeah, he forgets about it and then he picks it up again.
Dude, pregnant by a dope boy.
Thug, yes.
Pregnant by a dope boy named Wendella Pooh Bear.
We're following this.
Wendell the Pooh Bear.
Okay, sorry. Pregnant by the snowman of 79th Street. What's all these streets? These random.
We should try and get him on our show.
We should just look at his Instagram one day. Like, oh, my baby daddy stole my tax refund. And of course, it's a white lady and then it's a black man. Damn.
Oh, shit.
Let's see.
Fredquisha then opened the palm of her left hand, then hawked up the biggest ball of gooey, frothy spit into her palm. She put the lit end of the blunt out into the viscous pool of saliva and then stuffed it in her pocket for later. Nasty bitch. Her breath a bit tart, Fredquisha now needed the refreshing taste of menthol in her mouth. Why she didn't go brush her teeth instead? Well, she was going to handle that later when she went to take a shower. The veteran roach assassin rummaged through a drawer near the same filthy, crowded countertop and pulled out her pack of already opened Newports. Fuck! She forgot she was already on her last square. Then she quickly remembered she had a partly smoked cig resting in an ashtray with other butts, an almost overflowing mound of ash in the middle. The half-smoked square was cooling the fuck out like it was relaxing in a crowded Carnival Cruise jacuzzi. Monica knows about what that's like.
It was MSC Cruises, but continue.
Fredquisha, slowly getting angry again, dashed into the semi-smoky living room and hastily located the ashtray sitting on top of a brown coffee table. Once Mr. Pierce spotted the cigarette she smoked last night. Oh, Mrs. Pierce spotted the cigarette she smoked last night. She leaned down, pulled it out of the crowded ashtray, and then slapped it in between her cracking dark violet lips.
Which ones?
Which ones? She lit up with a blue Bic lighter in her hand. She took as many quick puffs as she could to finish the cigarette. Once the cig was no longer smokable, she put it out in the ashtray. She blew out a steady stream of smoke from her nostrils like a medieval dragon.
What?
With a trail of lingering Newport smoke following her, Fredquisha marched through the dusty, smoky, and dimly lit hallway of her apartment. Her heavy feet thumped on the filthy beige carpet as another roach ran for its life. Out of Fredquisha's sight. Lucky motherfucker. You better thank the roach lord. Disregarding the chit-chat and laugh she heard coming from her two sons' bedroom, Fredquisha stormed her way toward her youngest child's bedroom. She pulled out her cell phone from her back pocket, glanced down in her hand, and saw 9:43 a.m. splattered across the partly cracked iPhone screen. That's a good detail. The phone's neon pink cover, encrusted with sequins and glitter, evidently didn't do shit to protect the screen from cracking some months ago. She had dropped it at a Hooters out in a suburban Lansing while she was on a date with some low-key dope boy.
He's pretty low-key.
The agitated mother bit her lip. Fredquisha shook her head out of frustration of feeling like time wasn't on her side anymore. Grumbling, she slipped the phone back into her back pocket. Waves of infuriation once again swept over her. She was mad as fuck that she just wasted 4 minutes killing some roaches. Infuriation? Is that a real word?
I think he means fury.
Oh.
Like waves of fury. But you say that someone's infuriated, so I think he just,
This goes on for several pages, so I don't know.
Can we have AI write us some books? Like, can we have 70 books published by next year?
100%.
Because,
easy.
as Rudy is reading, I'm laughing at what Rudy's saying, and then I'm also laughing at just, like, Quan Millz' Instagram page. And I sent you guys a bunch of screenshots of more of those titles. The titles, Liz, you shared earlier were already crazy. But then there's My Side Chick is a hood rat demon from hell. And
pregnant by a dope boy called Dracula.
Yes. Fell in love with the BBW Velociraptor from the projects.
Yeah, see, now he's changing up the title again.
And he's always asking on Instagram, would you all read this?
I mean, what is
Do
the
all.
answer?
People are like, who is this diva? And someone says,
I mean, to be fair, the fell in love with a hood-rich BBW Velociraptor, she is a diva. She's wearing that leather, like, cat suit with the front zip. It has, like, a long, wavy red Veloci wig on. Veloci bust down.
Someone
Whoa,
says,
this one with the old man with his shirt off? What
it just says Quan Millz. I'm like, is this a biography? Like, which one is
A
Quan
biopic?
Millz?
Pregnant by a dope boy named Dracula. Hell yeah. Yeah, this Velociraptor is...
Right?
She's got that yacht.
Listen,
I'm
one of the
zooming in.
comments for like the Velociraptor one says, to be honest, if she's faithful and honest, at this point, I'll take her. All she needs is a little lotion and TLC.
That's true.
I mean, and she's pretty supple looking. Her nails are done. Like, she has red nails.
She looks like Sexy Red a little bit.
Oh.
So this chapter goes on for like 10 more pages. I don't know if you want
Yeah,
me-
go read them. Just kidding.
I don't know. We could just
No.
Do you want to
do a couple other random excerpts, or
do a couple other excerpts?
I need to know more about Quan Millz and how dare he make these books.
yeah, it's kind of interesting. There's been a little bit of there are like videos talking about it, but NPR actually did an article about it.
Really?
That's where I got the biographical information. They spoke to him, and they cited a couple, like a writer and a professor, on sort of like different takes about this. It's commodifying the Black experience, said University of New Haven professor Randall Horton. Horton is an award-winning author who served 5 years in prison on 7 felony convictions. Some of the topics that Millz discusses in his books, drugs, infidelity, poverty, Horton says, are things he and other Black people have actually experienced, not just fodder for outsiders to look at, to laugh at.
Sorry, I have not experienced my baby daddy being a leprechaun, okay? Or my baby daddy is an ogre. Or my baby mama is an alien. Like, what the fuck? I have never fallen in a Velociraptor baddie.
Pregnant by my gay Velociraptor roommate's mom.
You haven't experienced that?
You know, this is... I don't know what Black experience he's talking about, but my baby daddy never stole my tax refund, and me and my grandma do not got the same baby daddy. I've never been pregnant by my pastor's secret boyfriend either.
Monica, that was an amazing catch right there. That was so good.
He's crazy. Okay, I'm sorry. NPR is crazy?
Oh, yeah. Jacinta R. Saffold is an assistant professor of African-American literature at the University of Delaware. Saffold, whose research focuses on street literature at the turn of the century, has not read Mills's work.
What the fuck?
Wait. He hasn't read it?
Jacinta has not read it. But based on his titles and her expertise in the area, Saffold says his salacious titles remind her of some of the less serious ventures into urban writing, like Sean Wayne's 1997 comedic title, 150 Ways to Tell If You're Ghetto, as opposed to a genuine commentary on the Black experience. She said even though the genre of street lit is known for its gritty urban realism, there's a history of over-the-top humor, like the kind that Millz employs. So she's kind of placing him in a lineage of similar work.
Comedians.
Yeah.
Comedic work.
Yeah, but also, I guess, like street lit and literature that was not disseminated through traditional means.
Oh my god.
Reaching here.
I like this Instagram page is just ridiculous. Like, before he started posting all of his AI artwork, it's just like random memes of things. And there's this one with this, like, what movie is that from? Like Anaconda?
Yeah.
Or something.
Let me see.
The snake is on fire.
Oh,
And
I
it
remember.
says, 2 weeks after you thought she was a creamer.
Oh.
Oh, but
Ew.
you got a disease or...
Yeah.
Well, this guy is a scumbag, undoubtedly a scumbag, woman-hating, piece of shit. I want to defend his right to write this dumbass shit because, come on.
I mean, it's America.
Somebody's got to do it. He's like, I don't know. I just, when somebody who hasn't read the work is like shitting on it, I understand why it would piss you off, but also it's like,
How can you read the work, though? Like, how could you read all of the work to fairly judge it?
I don't think that anybody's reading this and being like, that's the Black experience.
That is definitely... no.
People are like, oh, right? Or am I wrong? Maybe some dumbass.
Listen, I don't know. We got to interview some people on the street Let's go to the corner real quick and be like, hey, you guys heard of Quan Millz?
Oh, yeah.
Raise your hand if your baby daddy is a bedbug.
Everyone raises their hand. They're like, oh.
I guess this kind of discuss, like, it does capture some of the Black experience or the African American experience where, and this is like a generalization, but usually Black men are very hard on Black women. And it's like it happened at the Super Bowl when Serena was just like doing her little crip walk, and like the next day, a lot of Black men online were making fun of her for looking masculine and like having her wig. She's just having fun living her life, and they're just like bringing her down. And the way that Quan Millz writes in his books about Fred Quisha is just like this hoe. He's just constantly talking so much shit about her. So I guess in a way, yeah, it captures that, but also, what's up with the velociraptors and leprechauns?
Yeah. Maybe him leaning into the more surreal fantasy things that he's leaning into with the ogres and the snowmen and the raptors. Maybe he's learned something and he's growing, and
or he's like further dehumanizing them.
Yeah. Oh, well. Yeah, this is probably the right answer.
Who is Quan Millz? Is he even a Black man?
No,
what's his name again?
Cherokee.
Chip Donald? Shit. Like,
Wait,
I feel like
keep guessing what his name is.
Cody
Dean.
Darrell. Cody Dean.
C. It's a C.
Carl Daniel.
Colson.
Colby Durden.
Colby Durden.
Colby Durden does not. I've never met a Black person named Colby Durden. Like, what is that? That sounds so. I feel like Quan Millz is more of a name than Colby Durden.
Is he taking inspiration from Fight Club or something? Tyler Durden? Oh. Because this was a huge thing online. Is that a lot of people speculated that it was a white man writing this. And now there's actually, you can see on his account he's a Black man, but this was a huge thing before he revealed his face. People thought that it was a white man because they sort of were hearing this misogynoir.
Is he a Black man? Just because you can show like, this is me. We have AI that's really convincing now, unlike his photos for his like book covers.
Yeah.
But like the way that people are portrayed in here, it makes me feel like this is not a Black person writing about Black experiences. It sounds really hostile at times. And then again, with like the confusion of like, sometimes he's using words that are like ebonics, and then other times it's like very, I won't say white, but it's like proper grammar that he's using. And I'm like, it sounds like he's trying to sound like a Black person, and then changing Durden to Millz is just like, I'm not. I don't know. I don't think he's a Black person.
He said, and he said in the article, he kind of refers to it as being like satire. But what makes something satire when it is indistinguishable from the real thing? When is a portrayal of misogynoir or racism satire when it looks exactly like racism or misogynoir?
It's just a joke,
right? It's not that deep.
Yeah,
it definitely is not that deep, but. Sometimes when you start reading the manual of how to submit complaints to CHA, I'm like, this is kind of getting a little deep. But like, why? Like, it's so, like, things are just so out of place in reading. So I'm like, part of it's written by human. Most of it's written by AI. The human parts are probably a white man. It could be a white man. I don't know. Maybe the whole thing is AI.
Deep fake.
Maybe.
The big question is Bryson or what?
Colby.
Is Colby Durden transracial?
Could be.
Is he a misogynistic Black man?
Yeah, it sounds like he's he's either a self-hating Black man or a white, racist.
Or maybe not even a racist, but just someone who's like, I'm going to do like my forefathers did and exploit, other races for my benefit. Yay.
Do you guys want to hear a one star Amazon review?
Yeah.
Okay, Constanza Lombardi, cool name. This was 1 out of 5 stars. This was the absolute worst thing I've ever read in my life. It was like reading a long ghetto text message in PDF format. It's like Tyler Perry meets R. Kelly's Trapped in the Closet, but 100,000 times worse. Poorly edited and poorly written is an understatement. I've read my share of ratchet literature, but at least they edit it. I finished all 3 in about 4 hours, a ridiculously childish read. It took 4 hours because I had to take breaks from the loss of brain cells that was occurring from the ignorance. He has the nerve to have 3 parts of this series. I have Kindle Unlimited, so thank God I didn't spend a dime on this trash. And that the titles are borrowed because I would not want to keep this forever. He really thought he was doing something. My 4-year-old writes better than this. Abysmal. Anyone who enjoyed this is either a friend or family member or trash themselves. Don't quit your day job, Quan. But you know what? In this day and age where society is imploding, I wouldn't be surprised if this ignorance found its way to the big screen. I would give this negative stars if I could.
Oh, it's definitely going to make its way to the big screen. I'm like, why has it not happened yet? Also, when I search Colby Durden, there's only white guys showing up when I look at the images.
Okay, wait. Let me find the NPR.
Yeah, find that.
It's just type in Colby Durden and the NPR article is
Okay, you got it.
first.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, deep fake. I mean, they probably just interviewed him on the phone. They're not like flying into Chicago to meet the what is it, the Winnie
I can't even look.
To Dracula.
to what's his name? Wendell the Pooh Bear.
What was the Dracula?
Dracula.
I like that's smart. Dracula. Okay, I feel bad for defending him now.
Well, I mean, you just said you're defending his right to write this. You're just defending his freedom of expression.
You shouldn't feel bad because like sometimes we have a thought and then we get more information or we hear somebody else's view and then we're like, okay, my opinion is slightly shifting.
Well, yeah, I liked hearing what you had to say, Monica. I think that's, I think you're right.
At first I thought it was going to be just fun.
Well, it's really like violent language. And it's fun. Like I obviously can't speak to this on the perspective of, being a black woman, but just as a woman who's sensitive to violence, like I'm sensitive to seeing violence, I'm sensitive to hearing about it, and I'm sensitive to like people saying those things to me. Like the language is just so, I'm like, it's like angry. Mm-hmm. I don't know. So do you want to hear a 5-star review?
Yeah, please.
Know it.
Maybe it'll shift our opinions again.
So Howard Zinman. So the woman gave it a bad review. This man is giving it a good review. I got put on to Quan Millz by Danny Brown. Wait,
Wait, what?
Danny Brown, the rapper?
Probably. He probably was talking shit about it.
Right. I thought this book was going to be some kind of comedy thing, but it actually has a serious side. It's about poverty and child abuse more than it is Roaches. If you came from a messed up household, this will be a relatable tale. I have a BA in Russian literature, and this reminded me Poor Folks or Nameless Nobody by Dostoevsky. Of course, it has the hood vibe and some wild stuff, but if you want a window into the troubles of a poor urban family, this is it. Don't be afraid, Quisha. Love your kids. Cherish them. Peace.
I'm sorry. Okay. I don't have that experience.
Dude, the casual comparison to Dostoevsky.
Because they mentioned roaches?
Yeah, like...
Well, no, that was her.
But that's so crazy. Wait. Oh my God. I have a BA in Russian literature, and this reminded me of Dostoevsky.
How?
I mean, he wrote about, like, wretched people. Like, his main characters were all just, like, wretched, self-hating shitheads.
But he's not self-hating. He's just hating Fred Quisha.
No, exactly.
Okay.
And Dostoevsky's stories came, like, you were, like, in the emotional core of the person, like, feeling their seething self-hatred and bitterness and anger towards the world. This, it feels like someone abusing the character.
Yeah.
Versus witnessing the character realistically abuse themselves.
So wait, this 5-star review was from a black man?
Howard Zinman.
Oh, forget it. I don't know what the fuck.
Doesn't sound like a black man.
Okay. Howard Zinman.
Speaking of names, again, I looked up Colby Durden and I found an Instagram, and it's this white guy. And it's the same white guy that I keep finding when I search Colby Durden. And I was like, there's no way that he could be writing the book, right? This can't be Colby Durden. Bam! He got a black lady. So maybe this is his Fred Quisha. Let me not speculate because.
Whoa.
Should we reach out and be like, are you Quan Millz?
The NPR article
Are you Quan Millz?
It's an absolute deep fake because we're going to confront him and we're going to ask, are you Quan Millz?
Yeah, we're showing up to Colby Durden's house right now.
He's going to get sued by Quan Millz' wife for $1.5 billion.
And they have a little biracial child. I don't know what's happening. There's like 3 pictures on this account. And like, again, I don't want to speculate, but whoever Quan Millz is not who he says he is. And this is some bullshit book. But is it interesting and fun? And in theory, like a funny read, sure. But also, it's not a read that I would never sit and read this book in its entirety unless I'm doing it for the podcast.
Yeah, I don't think I could read this for fun. I'm trying to go back to this reviewer and find out what else he's reviewed. So I think that, yeah, because that name doesn't come up anywhere, and it said that he worked in a corporate job, and he was laid off in 2017. That is recent enough that you would have a trail. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? You would have a presence. I'm saying I agree with Monica's conspiracy theory.
I appreciate that because I agree with it too. I don't like to make unfounded accusations and stuff, but something just doesn't sit right with Quan Millz.
All right, you have it here. The Quan Millz mystery to be continued. We're going to find out more and we're going to report back to you. Yeah. Gay Orphic egg ritual is all I have to say. my baby daddy is a gay Orphic egg ritual.
Gay Orphic
egg ritual.
Egg ritual.
Oh, man. Yeah, that's a lot to think about.
What do you think, listener? Drop your comments below.
Yeah,
don't forget to like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe, bitches.
Yeah. Oh, wait, we're not a YouTube channel yet.
No, we are. We do have a YouTube channel.
We have a YouTube channel, but we're not. This is not a YouTube video.
Well, yeah, no. All of the episodes get automatically pushed to YouTube as videos that have our logo.
Okay, so like and subscribe.
Yeah, definitely
put some roaches in your crib.
Oh, we got roach eggs ready. Your next baby daddy, roach. Any last words of roach wisdom?
No.
I've just been on a trip. This was a wild trip.
It is a wild trip.
It was a wild trip. I came into this one. We were having fun. I thought this was going to be fun.
That'd be sad.
It's a little sad. I learned a lot. I'm questioning a lot. I don't know. I feel
like we should write an AI book and make a lot of money because this world is so fucked already. Like, whatever. Quan Millz, do your fucked up things, I guess.
Eric Adams' romance novel.
Oh my God.
Here we go.
A Turkish-American love story.
Oh, he met a Turkish...
Oh, someone, by the way, they said Quan Millz literature or Quan Millz books are the Tubi of literature.
Yeah.
I could see that. How many Quan Millz books have made into Tubi originals?
They just ran it through AI. It's like an AI book run again through AI to make a video.
Can I read the last page?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's read the last page.
What happens to Fred Quisha? Does she get crushed like a roach?
Well, it's
by
three
Quan
parts.
Millz. He's like, I'm going to make a cameo. I'm going to kill this black lady because violence against black women is fun. Let's make fun of them. Go on.
Okay. It says, I'm going to read the last. Okay. There's one paragraph and then a year later, ending to the book. So I'm going to read the last paragraph and then the year later.
He's all, anyway, a year later.
Anyway. Okay. So this is in quotes. Well, it is the decision of the court based on the findings of DCFS.
Department of Children and, what is it?
Feral Services.
Family Services.
Department of Chicago and Feral Services. That I cannot in good faith erase the assumed paternity of Mr. Watkins. Although based on the paternity test, it is well established that Mr. Watkins was not the biological father. The fact remains that DCFS was on the verge of pushing custody to her grandmother, Mrs. Watkins. I should also note that even if Mr. Watkins was the biological father, I would still transfer the judgment to him and his family rather than the Pierce family. Okay, so here, this is what he was talking about with tribulation single fathers go through.
But he wasn't even the father.
Yeah, why is he complaining? He's like, well, it's just on principle. What if I was,
I still take care of the kid. DCFS and the state of Illinois clearly did not do their jobs in this instance. The state and DCFS would be facing serious litigation. Therefore, I hereby award the entire $10 million judgment to Austin Watkins and his family. That is all. Austin's eyes widened, even absolute surprise. Mrs. Watkins and the rest of the family looked at each other. What in the fuck just happened? Austin thought to himself. Austin, baby, Austin, did you hear that? Wait. So, I'm confused. They're giving me $10 million? Yes. Ah! Miss Watkins screamed. But God. Okay, do you want to... You read the year later. Liz, you haven't read.
That's so funny.
A year later. Baby girl, seems like you had a big purpose. A much bigger purpose than all of us could see. I miss you so much. You're on my mind all the time. Although it turns out you were never mine from the get-go, none of that matters. I still love you like my own, and you will always be near and dear to me in my heart. Austin, standing directly in the front of Maya's headstone, leaned down and dropped a single pink rose on her grave. He kissed the tips of his hands and then planted his fingertips onto the top of the headstone. He looked to the open blue skies and smiled. Everything has a reason, I guess. I hope you are all watching all the cartoons you want in heaven. Austin.
Man got cable up there.
Yeah, you know that he was just letting his kid watch cartoons all day. Like he's an iPad dad for sure.
He's a better parent than Frequisha still.
Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. Because she might have roaches, but she also might have heart. He laughed as he wiped some tears from his cheek. I'm sure she is, Katina said as she wrapped her arms around Austin. I'm sure she's watching them all over and over again. Austin looked over at Katina, now his wife, and then looked down at her belly. She was 5 months pregnant. Austin and Katina had hit it off big time, and it only took Austin 93 days to realize Katina was God sent. So he proposed. What happened on the 93rd day?
He proposed at his dead child's gravesite?
I think they proposed before that. No. Also, when you say Katina, I keep thinking of Taco Bell Cantina.
Taco Bell Katina.
I would marry and get
I'm
Taco Bell.
like, girl, first day, I'm yours.
I'm gonna put a baby in
Cantina.
Taco Bell Cantina. Let's see. It's so crazy how you were the same nurse that tended to her bedside. Man, God is crazy yet awesome. Life is strange like that. Strange and beautiful. The two of them embraced, kissed, and then walked away from the grave holding hands. They approached Austin's black Rolls Royce, hopped in, and quietly took off. After graduating from college, Austin used a portion of the judgment to immediately start his own real estate empire. He poured his money into rehabbing dilapidated houses and apartment buildings all throughout the south and west sides of the city. He also started his own nonprofit foundation, setting up basketball camps, mentoring programs, and other after-school activities for troubled youth. Katina decided not to continue on with getting her master's in nursing. Instead, Austin gave her money to help start and manage a low-income clinic all throughout Chicago. How is she going to be a nurse there? She just has to be the
Listen,
scheduler.
he used part of his money to start an empire. You don't just start an empire, do you? Is that a thing? Can you start one?
Yeah, they gave him what? Okay, so if they awarded him $10 million, he's going to get $3 million. It's going to get appealed or whatever. That is not enough to start a real estate empire, nonprofit foundation, a camp, mentoring program. You know what I mean? Out of the kindness of his heart, Austin, who forgave Frequisha and Evelyn for all they did, and also realized his complicity in the situation. Okay, that's the wrong tense. It was supposed to be, and also realized his complicity in the situation, did give some money to Evelyn to help her move into the apartment building in Hyde Park. He also hired her to help manage a few properties throughout the neighborhood. She forgave Austin, stopped smoking, lost weight, and eventually started attending church services with Mrs. Watkins. Austin's ordeal, his quest to save his baby girl, taught him one valuable lesson, a lesson anyone, regardless of race, socioeconomic status, gender, culture, sexual orientation, etc., should learn. Love thy neighbor. He couldn't in good faith take the judgment and not at least help Evelyn and the rest of Frequisha's family. He didn't have it in his heart to be that crude and one-dimensional. And so, for Austin's forgiveness of everything that had transpired and his desire to move forward, for Austin's pulsing desire to see beyond everyone's flaws, pulsing desire, as so many people saw beyond his, he did his best to make sure everyone had a chance to get things right before it was too late. Too late before another girl, or even boy, ended up like Maya. She was an example, and all we need is one sacrificing example to know we should learn to love one another. A sacrificing example?
What the fuck? Okay, so we missed a lot.
We missed about 380 pages. But.
Okay, well, it seems like basically Frequisha and her friend Evelyn conspired to keep him away from his child despite living in absolute filth and disgustingness, and obviously had some kind of scheme. And even though he didn't test biologically as the dad, he fought. He got past their stupid scheme to try to take the baby. And then because of the sketchy shit that they pulled, he won a $10 million judgment and everything's going to be okay. But she died, obviously.
Yeah.
The baby died.
He's like, everything happens for a reason, baby girl. Rest in peace.
Oh, maybe did she die because of the roaches? Or?
She ate the roach. I don't know. I tried to Google it, but I couldn't figure it out. I was like, what happened to Maya and this hoe got roaches in her crib? But I don't see. I do see a bunch of fake ass reviews for this book on Amazon. One of them says, best book I've ever read. The grammar is atrocious, but the lore is vast. I agree with best book they ever read. This is literally the only book they've ever read. It was either this or the Velociraptor BBW. Those are the two books they read.
And they voted for the wrong. They voted for Thickasauruses instead of BBL Velociraptor.
The typos, the typos on one of these reviews is like, I feel like Quan Millz may have written this. Man, I fried like I had lost a niece. This book was do good and was written good. I can't wait to read the next book.
It was do good.
He fried.
He
like
fried.
Like they lost a niece.
He was robo-frying.
Funny title brought laughs around the office for Secret Santa. That's the only way I could see this like being bought is because like people were like, what the fuck is that?
More to come. That concludes our This Hoe Got Roaches in Her Crib saga.
Thanks, Charlie.
Thank you, Charlie. Shitheads.
Roachheads out.
Out. Roachheads out.
Senior daddy. Roach.